Now, I never thought I'd be doing a video like this. It really pains me because Nintendo is something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Zelda, Mario, Metroid, great franchises, great games, but I am sick to death of Nintendo and the Wii U. That is why I decided to call this video Nintendo Sucks, not the Wii U Sucks, because they have been sucking. People just have not been realizing it because they're pulling the wool over our eyes once again. Now, I got inspired to do this rant when I was watching Game Trailers last night. Game Trailers TV. They were doing an interview with one of the higher ups, and he says about the Wii U, he's like, "Well, I know it was a little bit quiet last year, this whole year," he says, "but we're gonna pick things up." You know, I am so sick and tired of him using the same excuse. It's all about the software. Where the fuck is the software? I don't see one quality game on that system. What, Rayman? That's what they had at launch. Same thing with GameCube. The launch title sucked. They sucked dick. Now the N64, they had Super Mario 64, but that was it. Then you had to wait a whole nother year till another good game came out, and that was GoldenEye. And then you had to wait another fucking 10 years until another decent game came out. You know, it's so few and far between. They think that, you know, they're on top of the world, but they're failing. They're not doing as well as they used to. Yes, people bought the Wii U. They bought it, but they're disappointed. Look all over the internet. People are disappointed. The same thing with the Wii. I bought a Wii, and I don't think I've ever been more disappointed ever by buying something video game related. Usually, there's a, you know, by the end of my game console's life cycle, I've usually purchased quite a few games, and I'm usually moderately happy with it. Same thing with the GameCube. There was a lot of titles that I was happy to partake in and play, and I was satisfied by the end. Somewhat disappointed, but still satisfied. But it was like with the GameCube, they had a lot of disappointing launch titles. They put out Luigi's Mansion, which sucked. People gave it a pass, but I gave it a big fucking middle finger. I thought it was a big fucking cop out that they didn't give us a Mario game. They gave us some Ghostbusters weirdo ripoff shit. Then, you know, it was the same thing, the GameCube. They gave us, you know, a whole bunch of shit, and we had to wait like a whole year until we got something decent. I am sick to death of Nintendo doing this, and they always pull that same thing. Oh, quality over quantity. You know, yeah, one good game a year, I ain't fucking buying it, and a couple of decent ones along the way. No, Nintendo's not getting away with this. I know what Nintendo's capable of. Super Nintendo, what a great system. I don't think that they're ever going to be able to top that. They're never going to be able to top the regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It's not going to happen ever again. They have failed. This system is going to tank them. They are going to end up the same way as Sega Genesis. They're going to, not the Genesis, Sega in general. They're going to end up the same way. They're going to end up as a third party developer. That's all they're going to be. There ain't going to be any more consoles. They can't afford to do this anymore. They lose a lot of money. They don't have any third party support because they always got to do some weirdo thing with the controls. They have that fucking screen controller, and it's not good. You know, they use it, but it's like a novelty act, and that is the thing with Nintendo. They did it with the DS also. It's a novelty act. Second screens, it's been proven it doesn't work. It ends up being a map. It ends up just being a novelty act. Just something to say that it's there. It's something innovative, but it's not really innovative anything. It's just annoying and stupid. You know, the same thing with the Wii. It's the original Wii, the motion sensor controls. It's just it it didn't work. It just gets annoying. You just want to sit down and play a game, not have to worry about all this nonsensical crap, and it scares away developers because it's just too weird. They always have to go their own way. The N64, they got destroyed by PlayStation, by Sony, because they insisted on having cartridges, which was just mind-boggling because cartridges were more expensive to manufacture. It was more expensive to make games on there, harder. It was easier to make things on discs, on CDs, but they still insisted on doing it their way. Why? Then when the GameCube came around, they insisted on having their games on mini discs. No one was doing that. They'd already moved on to, to formatting it on DVDs already with the Xbox and the PlayStation. They'd already moved on. So why were they over there? There was more memory. It was limited. Usually the GameCube versions of games that were developed by third parties, usually the PS2 and Xbox versions were better because they had to leave certain things out. It was just a complete abysmal mess. The GameCube pretty much was labeled a failure by most people. The Wii, a lot of people label it a success, but I look at the game library and they don't have jack shit really, just like the Wii U. They have Donkey Kong Country. I am sick to death of all these excuses. Quality over quantity. It was quiet last year. Come on already. Let's not be fooled by this bullshit. By a guy in a suit trying to sweet talk us and say that Nintendo's going to be great. It ain't going to be great. It's going to fail, and it's going to fail miserably. Nintendo, they have ruined themselves, and they ain't going to be able to dig themselves out of this fucking hole. Alright.